Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all the non-binaries and kind of half this, part that. If you identify as like dog or a cat, I got audio. The audio looks okay. I think we got a show. Can I hear one more applause, please? Yeah. Oh, we had a problem. What's going on here? What am I think I'm hearing things. We had a problem on Thursday night. Oh, I had big problems on Thursday night. Lost my audio. I couldn't, I had no audio. And then when I got it on, the audio was clipping. I could not. I spent 2 hours because I changed my audio up a little bit. I'm going through the Rodecaster into OBS, going into StreamYard. So I'm trying to do a few different things. And it kept clipping, even if I whispered like this, just like this, it would just clip. It happened once before on one show. So anyway, I figured it out. It's all of these stupid little things. All of these dumb little things. It's like you have to on Windows, the audio. So one of the big problems I had is on Windows, the audio goes post OBS. Now, I don't know if this means anything to most people. It sure did to me. But anyway, I got it all figured out, and I'm looking. Looks like we had good volume everywhere. So I missed the Thursday show, right? Missed the Thursday show. I got it fixed. I think about an hour after the show was supposed to air. Of course, by that time, we're way too late, right? We're way too late. So the Thursday show, the Thursday big show, we missed it, but. Guys, welcome. It's Saturday night, POPRAGEOUS. My name is Daddy Alex. So good to have you here. Damn, we got some good stuff going on tonight. There's so much going on. I got everything. So we got, if you check our little leaderboard here, we're gonna do a quick one with the Daredevil. I'm gonna do the whole season 2. I did not watch most of season 1, so I'm gonna catch up on season 1. I'm liking what I see, and I'm not a big Daredevil fan, but I'm liking what I see in Daredevil's episode 1. We got Lord of the Rings. Unbelievable. You probably heard of it. Stephen Colbert is writing. I mean, you know how many I'm a screenwriter. I've won hundreds of awards from, there's a lot of screenwriters. You think he's the first one to have thought, well, let's just do the first 6 chapters of the book? You think there's something amazingly novel about it? I don't get it. There's no rhyme or reason for it. I'm going to scoot in a little bit. I'm going to get myself comfortable on a Saturday night, guys. Saturday night, it's POPRAGEOUS. Black Snape. Oh, we got Black Snape. It is causing a ruckus. I mean... We'll talk about it. Peaky Blinders, guys. I don't know if you guys have ever watched Peaky Blinders. I've only watched a little bit of it, and last night I wanted to watch something. And Peaky Blinders, the first thing that popped out was Peaky Blinders. And of course, I love Cillian Murphy. The guy's an amazing actor. I've always wanted to watch the TV show, never did. And there's the movie, The Immortal Man, Peaky Blinders. It just came out, so I watched it. We're going to touch on that. We got Halle Berry, just a little video on her talking about Doomsday, and then what else have we got? And actually, something that just came up was Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder, guys. The guy, I'm telling you, I've been saying this for a while. I would be surprised not to see Zack Snyder back at DC. I've always said I think it's going to happen if they close the deal. If Paramount closes the deal, Zack Snyder will be back. Zack Snyder will be back. The Snyderverse. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Just some friends saying hi. So, on that note, Project Hail Mary having a good weekend. Only down 55% Friday over Friday, which is really good. It's one of those movies that feels, you know what? What's a movie that would be close to it? It's got that kind of probably. I mean, Avatar, staying power. Tom Cruise, Maverick. Top Gun Maverick. Kind of got that, feels like it's got some staying power because word of mouth is carrying that thing. It's going to have a pretty good weekend. The thing's got to do at least 600 million to break even, right? It's not having a great international. Hopefully, I think some more markets were opening up on the international side for Project Hail Mary. Ryan Gosling. Arguably, it's the first good movie of the year. So, I mean, that can be argued. I would argue it's probably, and I have not seen it because all the stuff I've gone through, I'll tell you, I've gone through some stuff. So, we'll just leave it at that. But guys, something that is going on. Okay, now I got to get this set up because I'm going through OBS now. How do I do this? Right, video capture. I do share screen, right? How do I do the there we go. Oh, okay. All right. Bear with me here. Hold on. You know what? I think I need like a whole new extra screen or something, right? That's what I need. Like a whole new computer on my left side. I need more tools. That's what I need. So where are we here? Is that working out? Okay, hold on a sec. Let me fix this. Sorry, guys. I have to admit I may not be as I'm gonna move this over here. Technical difficulties. We're having a few okay, is that gonna work? Can I read that? Can you guys see that? I think we're good. Okay, all right. Yes. Hey, Ben Feister, what's up, my friend? Did you hear the news, Ben? Zack Snyder, Senior Ben Feister. I'm trying to fix this. I think I got it. I've had just a dastardly last. Where are we here? There we go. Okay. All right, I got it. All right, I got it. Right. Okay. I think that's going to work. So anyway, I got, okay. This is just, guys, I'm sorry. You know what you're going to see tonight? You're going to see a bit of a shit show. If you want to see a guy who was on live making things up in a kind of like a little bit as he goes along, because I've got new ways of doing things, you've come to the right place, because my shit will be your show. Okay. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say that, because I think we're live on Facebook too. We're doing Facebook. They don't like as much bad words. I get it. You get it right. So, man, you know what? Or I need like a bigger screen. I'll get like a, yeah. These are my problems, not yours, and I get it, right? So here we go, guys. I want to start. This is not on, because I found this literally 10 minutes before we went on air. I went to Geeks and Gamers, and they're a pretty good site. They got some stuff that you want stuff that's, breaking. Rumor claims Zack Snyder has been contacted to take over DC from James Gunn. But is this true? Now, I have been saying this. What is this advertising? Get rid of this. Oh man. Can I delete it? Gone? There we go. Gone. I hate myself some average. I've been saying this for a while, and that's also based on the Saudi Arabia money. Saudi money. I mean, it could, you know what? It could be David Ellison, maybe he likes it, but there were enough footprints in the snow to make someone think, and I've been saying this for at least, well, since Paramount Warner became a possibility. They got to get through the EU. They got to get through California. There might have to be some divestitures. DC will not be one of them. For sure. DC will not be one of those divestitures. The way Lord of the Rings is going right now, I don't think Lord of the Rings is going to be a divestiture. Ben Feister. Tonight is going to be a juicy discussion. I have lots to say. 2 topics. I heard about Zack Snyder, and I hope he's completely unrestrained to make the DCU. It's going to make the DCU great again. He's going to make the DCU great again. Look, I'll take it. I'll take it. Ben Feister. Either we're going to get a lot more of Superman 2025, or we get some Snyderverse back. I don't know. As long as Rebel Moon was pretty bad. I mean, that was pretty bad. I don't know. I don't know how casting would work. I don't think Ben Affleck would come back. I mean, listen, we're talking a few years later. He still looks good, still in good shape. I don't think he'd come back. I guess money always talks, right? Momoa would jump at anything where he can show off his bod. Gal Gadot, she'd be back. Would Henry Cavill be back as Superman? He'd come back. Henry Cavill, he'd come back. Would I come back? Oh, wait, I wasn't in it. I wasn't in it. I wasn't. Well, Ben Feister, I look forward to some of your comments. Is it Black Snape? You got some ideas on Black Snape? I mean, you got to have Lord of the Rings, too. You got to have, I would kind of think you got a few things to say about that stuff. Where's Pamela? So guys, this is Geeks and Game. Rumor claims Zack Snyder has been contacted to take over DC from James Gunn, but is this true? Let's talk about it. Geeks and Gamers, and of course, there we got Zack, we got James Gunn. James Gunn, I've said a lot of things about Superman 2025. None of it particularly positive. A new round of speculation is making the rounds online after Cosmic Book News posted a series of claims on X tied to WonderCon, alleging major shakeups could be coming to DC Studios, including the possibility that James Gunn could be leaving DC soon, and Zack Snyder has been contacted about bringing back the failed cinematic Snyderverse. I think calling it failed is a little presumptuous. I don't know if I would call it failed. Some people argue that, but I might disagree with that. It's important to be clear right out of the gate. These claims are entirely unverified and originate from a single outlet. Is it POPRAGEOUS? Is it? There have been no confirmation from DC Studios, Warner Brothers Discovery, or any other official source. Still, the rumors themselves are significant enough and wild enough to warrant a closer look. I've said this for a few weeks now. I'm sure a few people have said that, but so Cosmic Book News. You always want to say comic book. It's like one S away from Comic Book News. Comic Book News claims Gunn could be out before Man of Tomorrow, which it could be. And it makes sense because feels like he's rushing it. Although production schedules and everything like that would have been set a few months ago, But a few months ago, we knew that Warner Brothers was out there selling itself, right? Uh, what's interesting, before Skydance got involved, Warner Brothers and Paramount were thinking about getting together. Before Skydance, before David Ellison, probably would have been a good move. I mean, well, who knows? But that's in the that's past. On its face, that sounds dramatic, but when you actually break it down, the idea isn't quite as shocking as it might appear. No, actually, it actually makes a little bit of sense. And there you go. James Gunn expected out before Man of Tomorrow. He better start filming and getting that shit together. It's kind of at the point. Now, I did work on Wall Street for a number of years. I was a market maker and economic analyst. So how Wall Street works is not a mystery to me. You can have conversations, although before a closure, it would be, but you cannot preclude conversations happening with the principals, not principals, but principals, but also the main people of the company where they would like to see certain things before the acquisition closes, and certain things happen before an acquisition closes. If one of those things is James Gunn being gone, it could happen. James Gunn is currently writing and directing Man of Tomorrow, which is in pre-production. His contact with DC Studios runs through spring 2027, which means it will expire before the film's release, July 2027 release date. That creates a scenario where Gunn could technically step down as a studio head before the movie hits theaters. But he'll definitely get it filmed. It'll be in final editing, colorization, all that stuff before it happens. While still remaining creatively attached to its director and likely participating in press, much like any filmmaker would. So while the phrasing of the rumor suggests upheaval, the reality could be far more routine, depending on how contracts and timelines align. Cosmic Book News says they approached Zack Snyder for Snyder. That was March 27th. That was last night. Last night they're reporting that. Interesting. Again, it does not surprise me whatsoever. This is where things get much more speculative and much harder to reconcile with recent history. Zack Snyder's tenure with DC produced a deeply divisive slate of films, culminating in Justice League and later release of the so-called Snyder Cut. That was a long one, man. That was a long one. While that 4-hour version generated significant online buzz, it did not translate into long-term revival of the franchise, or a clear path forward for a shared universe. And that's not even fair, because the entire cinematic universe of everything has been on a downswing for the last 6 years. Not just DC, it's secular. It's a secular decline. Marvel ain't looking good. Marvel, I tell you, there is no chatter about Doomsday. We'll talk. We got some Halle Berry news coming up later on, but to finish this off, and beyond DC, Snyder's recent work on Netflix, particularly Rebel Moon films, has struggled to win over critics and audiences. Actually, it has not helped. It has only hurt, leaving the future of that series uncertain, which raises the obvious question: if leadership changes are coming, why pivot back to a filmmaker whose previous DC universe failed? It didn't fail. I don't know what does, let me define fail. And I'm not a big Snyderverse guy. I just want good movies. I want good stories, and I just don't want the garbage that comes attached to so many to the movie industry right now. I mean, to say it's failed. Marvel, I mean, everything is a failure. Almost all movies are a failure right now. Most of his movies at least broke even. That's a win, because in the post side streaming, they've made a lot of money. David Ellison factor in corporate shakeups. Part of what's fueling these rumors is the broader uncertainty around Warner Brothers Discovery and its potential sale to David Ellison's Paramount Skydance. There have already been whispers that Gunn's absence, because he didn't show up to the meeting with David Ellison, even virtually from an early high-level meeting involving Ellison, that's the one, raised eyebrows. Add in the widely discussed political differences between Gunn and the Ellison camp, and Gunn's got a big mouth that way. That's probably one of the big yeah. He's gone. I'm telling you, I've maintained for a few weeks now, maybe a couple of months, that Snyder's coming back. So could Snyder return in a limited capacity? I think he can return as the. I mean, it's reigniting the Snyderverse. Absolutely reigniting it, coming back. A more plausible scenario, if talks did occur, would be something far more contained, like finishing his planned Justice League arc, perhaps animated form, or tackling a standalone project like the adaptation of Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns. Snyder has expressed an interest in making. Rumors are flying, but reality hasn't changed. Well, nothing's going to change. Right now, the idea of James Gunn can be replaced by Zack Snyder at DC is just that, an idea. Now, there could be another name that comes up, right? There could be, look, I mean, you even have to ask yourself, is the entire superhero genre just a dying breed? Dude, budgets have to come down so much that it's going to dramatically affect the quality of what you see on screen? Or does it have to be a lot more of a cinema/streaming combination where you rely less on cinema and more on the streaming side? You release it cinematically, yada, yada, yada. So anyway, there's no official confirmation that Gunn is leaving DC Studios. There's no verified report that Snyder is returning, except that you've heard of on POPRAGEOUS a few weeks ago. And there's certainly no indication that DC is preparing to reverse course on its current plans. I think there's a 98% chance that James Gunn is gone. Gone from DC. If Skydance Paramount buys them. So but that's it. That's basically the story. I gotta remember. I'm doing things on. There we go. I'm doing things on OBS. Normally, I would go to my screen on StreamYard. I would do stuff, but I'm doing things on OBS. So I was like, Ben Feister's been talking. Where are we here, Ben? Ben, you've been talking. Oh boy, tonight's going to be a juicy discussion. I have a lot to. Okay, we haven't been there. Yeah. From the onset, Colbert writing Lord of the Rings, Tom Bombadil production. Hell no, we're getting to that. Yeah. I'll say my sister is a diehard Harry Potter reader and fan that I am. Okay. She was furious seeing Snape race swapped. For me, Harry Potter is a great series, but replacing Alan Rickman, and of course he is iconic, right? He was. How do you replace Alan Rickman? I don't know. It really speaks to Rickman's caliber of acting performance. You damn right it does. Yeah, it does. Yeah. My favorite roles, Alan Rickman was Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. He was fantastic in Die Hard. And Galaxy Quest. Yeah, he was. Well, the thing is, Galaxy Quest, he showed range, right? Comedic range. Well, mind you, he's always had that comedic flair. But everything that look, he's one of these guys that left way too early. He's like a John Ritter. What's his name from Alien? Bill Paxton. These guys left way too early. For me, if Warner Brothers waiting till about 2 years after Endgame and then release DC films we'll be having a different conversation, maybe. Warner Brothers were too rushed to attempt to steal thunder from Avengers Endgame. That is very true. That is very true. And almost like it's that, you know what? I have always believed that. It felt like, right? Ben Feister, that is a big point. Let me read this again. Warner Brothers they felt like they were rushed in an attempt to steal thunder from Avengers Endgame, which was impossible. So Warner Brothers shorthanded themselves by releasing DC films way too early, way too quickly, potentially underdeveloped. Like, it didn't take too many changes to some of those DC, the Snyderverse movies, like Batman v Superman. You could have done a few changes to Batman v Superman, and it was still an okay movie. I think it gets a bit of a bum rap. Is it perfect? There's no freaking movie that's perfect. There is no movie. When you look back at it, it's like looking back at episodes 1, 2, and 3 in Star Wars, right? And oh yeah, they look better now. Are they good? Well, you know, I don't know. They look better now, given what we've seen. But it did feel like there was a rushed environment to try and keep up with the thunder of Marvel. Although I've got to say, Ben Feister, I've got to say, and everyone out there, and everybody, I still watch Justice League. I think I watched it 2 months ago. I'll put like the 4 or 5 hour one, like the director's cut. And I enjoy it. You know, it's like when Ben Affleck goes into to try and fight Aquaman. You talk about a guy who's he brings fish. He brings fish. Ben Affleck. Remember Ben Affleck when he went on that to find Aquaman? He brings fish. If you guys got some spare time, go back and put Justice League back up. There's some weak points. Yes, there are. And as a matter of fact, because what's his name? Snyder didn't finish it. If you look at the Snyder cut, it's very different. As a matter of fact, the graphics are much better. Much better. For me personally, Batman v Superman was a great film, but Zack Snyder in the driver's seat was not a good balance. Why? Zack Snyder literally admits he doesn't understand Superman. And Superman, look, Ben Feister, Superman is a very hard character. I have always, and most screenwriters, and all of the screenwriters that I've known, we've talked about, everyone will agree. And a lot of fans hate this. But Superman is a flawed character. Flawed character in the sense that he has one weakness. Kryptonite. So every movie, you know, okay, when's the kryptonite coming? Who got the kryptonite? There's going to be a storyline about kryptonite. Every single movie's kryptonite. Kryptonite, 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 kryptonite. And then the antagonist is going to be someone from kryptonite or some cellular derivative. Who is texting me like crazy? Some sort of cellular derivative. And I was making jokes. I was making jokes a year before Superman 2025 came out. I was making jokes about, well, you know what it's going to be? It's going to be probably get his DNA. They'll make a clone of him. And oh my God, that is literally exactly what it was. Right? Superman 2025. That's exactly what it was. Ooh, a little bit of red wine. Saturday night, POPRAGEOUS, a little bit of red wine, yes. So yeah, that is can we, Daredevil. Let's get to Daredevil, shall we? I want to get to Daredevil. Daredevil season 2, episode 1. Breathe. It's like inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. It's got you get the breathing chops. You get the feeling good on a Saturday night. Yes, yes. So Daredevil, Ben Feister, you haven't watched Daredevil, right? Nope. Ben Feister's got it. Yeah. Respectfully disagree. Christopher Nolan did understand Superman, and that's why Zack Snyder, as director, sent Nolan as producer. Batman v Superman would have been far more balanced. Well, it still doesn't take away everything I said about Superman doesn't change. The predictability of kryptonite, the predictability that it's going to be some sort of derivative of the cellular nature of Superman. It's going to be someone from Krypton shows up, or they've taken his cells and they've recreated it, or like every single one is the same thing over and over and over. And it is like, as a character, if you're writing a character from a screenwriting perspective and Superman doesn't exist and you write a character like that, you will get lambasted by everybody. Well, what's the point of writing a character that has no weakness? It's only one weakness. Now, as a one-off film, it might work, but as how do you make Superman a compelling character? Man of Steel lost money, though. It made money in the aftermarket, but it still lost money. Man of Steel was very successful because Nolan understood Superman just as much as he did with his Batman trilogy. If Nolan and Snyder did Batman v Superman, would be a lot better. No, I didn't like the Nolan Batman. I am a critic of the Nolan Batman. I know you like it. I'm a critic. I think the third Batman was terrible. The third Batman was terrible. It was made okay because of spectacle. Christopher Nolan can be great at spectacle, just like Guillermo del Toro. Guillermo del Toro was great at spectacle. As a matter of fact, I think Guillermo del Toro is the best at spectacle, managing the idea of spectacle, keeping everything in balance, not going too far with it. The problem is every Superman after the first movie has actually lost money cinematically. I mean, how do you write a new and original Superman? I mean, no one really. I mean, James Gunn tried. It was a terrible attempt. 2025. I hear what you're saying, Ben Feister. I do. I hear what you're saying. And you know what? Look, if you had Snyder and Nolan get together to write something, I mean, first off, I think there'd be a lot of arguments and potentially fisticuffs because the two are very different, very different. But we'll never know. We'll never know. But you didn't watch Daredevil. Did you watch Daredevil? I did watch Daredevil, and that was actually part of the Thursday show that didn't happen because of audio problems that I got fixed. Where are we here? Oh, there we. Oh, right. That's what I got to do. I keep forgetting. I got to do that first, and then I go to that. There we go. There we go. Do I got it okay? Okay, so that's not. Ah, geez. Why is that not fitting in like it's supposed to? Okay. Well, excuse me as I need to find a way to correct this. I will. I will get. I wonder if I can. I know I can't do that. Uh, that will work just fine. That will work just fine. So, Daredevil. So I did watch Daredevil, guys. So Daredevil season 2, episode 1, Born Again. I'll say a few things on this. I watched it. I enjoyed it. I have never really enjoyed Daredevil, and I don't know it's because it's just a general absence of good things on TV. But I did enjoy Daredevil. It had a lot of things. It had an edginess. But there is one thing, and some people are going to disagree with me on this. I have no doubt that some people are going to disagree. What am I? And I'll say, you know what? I might as well just say it right from the beginning. I'm going to change it to this. Casting. I don't think Vincent D'Onofrio. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this. I think some people are going to agree with me. He does not have the intensity. Whatever it maybe there used to be some episodes where he had that evil intensity, but Kingpin is supposed to be just an evil kick-ass. You know what? It could be a problem of direction and acting. He's got the chops and he's got the look. He doesn't have, his face looks sympathetic all the time. Kingpin is like a kick-ass, you want to screw with me? That's Kingpin. I think Kingpin is terrible. Vincent D'Onofrio is terrible. You need some big-ass bald guy who is just as conniving as he is, his face looking evil, and just ready to smash someone's face in. He looks like a docile, lethargic, sleepy antagonist. He is not a good Kingpin. I'm sorry, guys. I'm saying it right now. And it's been one of my problems. He's had little bits where he has shined as Kingpin. William Fisk. But he is not, like I'm telling you, I'm going to applaud myself. I don't think he is the best choice for Kingpin. Nope. The applause lets me take a rest, get some wine. Now, some people might disagree with me on that. Some people may agree with me. I'm saying this. I think Vincent D'Onofrio is one of the weak links to Daredevil. If it was me, I would have some guy who was 6'4", heavy set, but that heavy set is fat but also muscle. And his face, his resting face is, I'm here to fuck you up. I'm here to break you. Instead of some docile, almost like a cuck face. I mean, they basically, I think it's terrible. I think it's terrible. I think he is the weakest link in Daredevil. Recast Kingpin in Daredevil. He's a terrible antagonist. There's nothing antagonistic about him. And he's supposed to be the fucking antagonist. There's nothing antagonistic about him. If you want to make Daredevil better, find some guy in the back streets of New York who's like 6'4", who eats like 4 pizzas a night, works out every 3 nights, and he's just a mean mofo who is capable of a little bit of. But I'm telling you, I think Daredevil is going to lag because of. Sorry, Vincent. You're not doing that good. I think he sucks. That's just my opinion. The weakest character in Daredevil is Kingpin. You can get mad at me if you want. I don't got to get mad at me. I don't care. I don't care. Come on, put more pepperoni on. More pepperoni. Is Kingpin, is he Italian? I don't know. Everyone in New York is Italian. That's what I say. Charlie Cox. Well, you know what? He always does a great job. I've always said, when he acts blind, he has to be acting blind, because it's not like, if he can feel everything and see everything that's coming at him, like he's fighting better than then he would know exactly, be like he would understand sonically everything that's around him. So he must just be acting blind, right? Obviously. But most of the cast works out really well on Daredevil. Again, Kingpin is the worst. He's the worst. He's the worst. He even lost weight. He's got no shoulders, Kingpin. If you're gonna make Daredevil great again, recast Kingpin. All right, recast Kingpin. But so the first episode, I'm not gonna do any spoilers. I liked. You know what? The first episode is making me go back, and I did watch episode 1. I rewatched episode 1 of the first season. High energy, action packed, episode, and I'm gonna go back through it, and I'm gonna fit it. Someone was watching Deadwood. I don't know who it was. Someone mentioned Deadwood. Who was that? I also want to watch Deadwood. I think Deadwood it might be that was a while back, but I know it was supposed to be a good watch. But Daredevil, I think it's got some intensity. It's got a little bit of. The reason I've never been a big Daredevil fan, because it's always been like a police drama. I prefer there to be a little bit more. Oh, what's his name? Buck Cashman is coming in right now. Very changed. Like in the comics, he's like 7 feet tall. He's balding with heavy set, but I think he's fatter than he is more muscular, bit of both. But very different, right? So we saw him in episode 1. There's a lot of things that are going on with episode 1 that in season 2 that I think are make season 2 interesting. It's kind of like One Piece. The season 2 of One Piece, which I quite enjoyed, is now I'm going back to season 1, and I thought to myself, you know what? I've got to rewatch season 1. Not that I thought it was bad. I kind of felt like it was like a 6.5. Maybe I was wrong. So I'm going to rewatch that. And it's the same thing with Daredevil. There's enough going on there that I like what I see. It felt good. The first episode was dark, gritty. It had there's a lot of characters to try and keep up with. And if you haven't watched season 1 of Born Again Daredevil, you might get a little bit lost. So you got to kind of go, okay, what's this person? You got to do a little bit of digging to understand who is what. Nikki M. James, Kristen McDuffie. She's fantastic. BB Urich, Ginea Walton, Heather Glenn, Margarita Levavita. Everyone is pretty good. Buck Cashman, Artie Froshman, who is very different than the comics. They didn't race swap him, but he is very different than the comics. He comes in now. He actually has kind of like Captain American powers, right? Buck Cashman. So he'd be an interesting fight with Charlie Cox. I don't know what happens with all that. But if they can get, so there's a whole universe starting with the Defenders and this whole universe associated with Daredevil. And in our last, I think on Tuesday, we talked about Ben Affleck and Daredevil was actually probably better than most people thought. And it was. If you go back and you watch it, I watched it about 8 months ago. And I also watched Elektra, which go back and rewatch both of them. But if they get the universe sort of stitched back together in a way, and I'll go back, look, I don't like Kingpin. He's like a docile cuck, lethargic, and where Kingpin should be you remember the old Spider-Man comics where Kingpin would show up? He's like serious kick-ass, right? Serious kick-ass. He is some 6'5" mofo that is like brutalizes people, but I'm sorry, Vincent D'Onofrio doesn't pull it off. I'm sorry, it doesn't work. And I've seen reviews where people just calling him out like, oh, I did it. No, he does a shit job. He does a shit job. It's not good. It's not a good job because he looks sad and lethargic every time. Whereas Kingpin, I've always seen him as some big, huge, badass guy that barely fits. You know, he gets into the cafeteria. He doesn't even fit into the wall tables, right? He's so freaking big. And when you see him, he's just got resting angry face, not resting cuck face. That's what Vincent D'Onofrio has. It's like resting cuck face. And really, my whole thing with Daredevil, like when I was thinking, what is my biggest complaint with Daredevil? It's Kingpin. It's Kingpin. People might disagree with me. The weakest link, I'm telling you, your recast Kingpin with some big badass mofo. You got yourself a TV show, guys. You got yourself a TV show. Banter, my friend. Senor. For me, Daredevil is a Winter Soldier-like hero. Actually, you're right. You're right. Very much so. Yep. I'm going to move this over here so my face is more... Come on. God. Windows drives me crazy. I would make a good Kingpin. Hey, I shave my head. I put on 50 pounds, a little bit of fat. I could put on 50 pounds of fat. I could. Easily. I could put on 50 pounds of fat. Easily. I eat like a pig. You want Kingpin? You fuck it. I'm not 6'5" though. not even close. Not even freaking close. Ben Feister and me, I think we're smaller guys, right? We're smaller guys, right, Ben? Ben Feister, we're smaller guys. But we are good. We are good. Vivander, hey folks, Elektra was a senseless Dempster Fire, and the original Charlie Cox Netflix series are so much better than the Disney versions. Ben Affleck is a guilty pleasure, but there's a lot of guilt. Well, I like Vivander, please don't hold back, my friend, please. I hate it when people hold back in the comments. I really do. I disagree. I watched Elektra. The story was clear. It moved along really, really well. Could it have had more intensity? Of course it could have. But the entire Daredevil series, I'm telling you, man, I maintain, if you go, I have never really, there's been pockets of excitement with the Kingpin, Vincent D'Onofrio. But he is not good in that role. I need some big ass mother throw. 6'6" guy. Bam Bam Bigelow, right? Remember Bam Bam Bigelow in the WWE? He would have been a Kingpin, right? That's my Kingpin. And his resting face is like when you're looking at him, he wants to kill you. Not some he looks like a cuck. He looks like a docile cuck. And then they force the intensity out of him. They force this. Oh wow, he's a really mean guy. He's really a Kingpin is really mean when he gets mean. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I'm sorry, man. I will maintain. I will go through all 10 episodes of the Daredevil, and I will guarantee you there's nothing that Vincent D'Onofrio will show me that I will appreciate him as the Kingpin, because he's going to say the S word. He's not good. He doesn't convey the intensity. Vivanda. Sup, bruh. I believe the actor who is Kingpin got the look down, but I agree he doesn't have the same mafia swag for Kingpin's character personality. Ben Feister, that's the weakest point in the whole freaking show. When I write my screenplays, and I think this is why all of my screenplays, all of them, I have not written a screenplay that is written or that has not won significant amount of awards in film festivals around the world. Because one of my big things is with a story is the relationship with the protagonist and the antagonist. And it needs to be intense. The protagonist and the antagonist need to create this sea of fluidity between them that is magnified with such intensity, especially with a TV show, which is different than a movie, guys. I've written movies and TV shows. When you write a TV show, you are afforded time. You're afforded many scenes to develop that relationship. And there's so many times they could have had a Kingpin with Matt Murdock. And I think this is why I've never fully immersed myself in this series, is because of frickin' Kingpin. He sucks as Kingpin. Am I the only guy that thinks he really sucks as Kingpin? He's a cuck. He's got this little, he's making me angry. Oh yeah, you look really fucking angry. Wow. Like I want a Bam Bam Bigelow. You know, remember Bam Bam Bigelow, right? That's a guy that is more intense and scary and exudes violence. And then his secondary emotions are, understanding, but they're very few and far between. For me, Tony Soprano would have been a far better natural choice for Kingpin. Well, I mean, that's probably, I will, Ben Feister, all season long, I'm going to point out why Vincent D'Onofrio is so bad at being Kingpin. And is the weakest part of the show. The weakest part. There's like little glimpses that they show. Once in a while, it's like, okay, that's kind of the Kingpin that I thought was there. Then he turns into a cock, a little docile, lethargic, sleepy little, hey, I wanna, we're gonna take over this city. And that's real fucking convincing. Real convincing. There were times, it was in the first episode last season. Murdoch and Kingpin meet at the diner. That should have been filled with intensity. I mean, filled with intensity. If you want a good consultant for making a good mafia comic, accurate Kingpin is Michael Franzese, a real former mob boss. He'd help you shape a real, authentic, and very intense Kingpin mob boss. Well, I'm not writing a comic. Michael Franzese. Let me write that down. Do I write that down? Vivander. Yes, you're the only guy. D'Onofrio murdered a Russian by chopping his head off with a car door and disturbing his dinner. In the original series, he was brilliant. Disney don't count. Vivander, what I will say that you're talking about things that happen. That's the script writer. Okay. The screenwriter wrote that. In every scene that I see him, I've seen all the, like every year. I'm just talking about this year. I'm talking, I watched it. And I keep asking myself, why am I so not enthused by this? And that's okay if we disagree, Vivander. That's okay. I say he is the weakest. I think he sucks. I think in all the part now, Vivander, like I say, there are times that he shines. He shines. When he gets that intensity, that redness in his eyes, that Kingpin psychoness, right? Kingpin almost goes, he's got that, and you can't stop him because he's a freaking 400-pound mass of muscle and fat. DeFornio he's still an actor who is fat trying to lose weight. He's got no muscle on him. You need a Bam Bam Bigelow kind of a guy that exudes more evil and contempt and anger. Yeah. Oh no, I don't think he's going to be the exact guy that's going to, a guy that has that intensity. If you like Kingpin is a cuck in all of these TV shows. And every once in a while he comes out and he becomes the actual Kingpin. This lethargic, docile, so what if he's 6'4"? Who cares? You can make someone who's 5'9" look 6'4". That's not a problem. He has no Kingpin intensity that I've ever known the Kingpin. Sleepy, lethargic, docile. Ben Feister says his very moniker Kingpin is another mafia moniker named for the boss, just like Godfather or the Don and Le Costa Nostra in Italia. We'll see. Okay, well, I'll tell you, we'll see what happens with the rest of the season. Okay, but I did like, Vivander, I enjoyed myself watching episode 1. I did. I really did. So I'm going back to watch, because I've watched parts of it. So I'm going to go back and watch, sequentially everything. And we're going to do, so next week next week it's episodes 2 and 3 that are coming out. Episodes 2 and 3. Why am I talking over a IMDb page? I don't know. Was I gonna read this? Where are we here? Is there something worth going? Daredevil Born Again Season 2 review. Marvel's darkest series finally finds its edge. Right, that's what. Okay, let's go over this real fast before we get to Black Snape. We're gonna get to, guys. We're gonna get to Black Snape. I know there's a few comments that are gonna be made with that one. But this is Daredevil has always been a difficult character to pin down on screen. For years, there's been a version of the property that filmmakers and fans alike have chased since the Netflix era, not the one that sagged under sluggish pacing or lurched into camp and melodrama. Still, the one that felt razor-edged, grounded, and emotionally battered in ways most comic book adaptations rarely sustain. After a strong but uneven, visibly stitched together first season, and that's what it felt like to me. It felt a little off. It felt a little off, right? This is the best Daredevil has ever been. And it's interesting because I have no preconceived notions because I'm a screenwriter, right? I literally, and I've been on all sides in the movie business when I spending 20 years in Hollywood. So I've been on all sides of the camera, in every part of the camera. But my street cred is in screenwriting. And so when I feel something is significantly better, which is first episode, season 2 of Daredevil. I will agree with this person's take on it. This is the best Daredevil that is not marginally better, decisively better. It outstrips the Netflix run and steamrolls nearly everything Marvel has produced for television. I wouldn't disagree with that, except for the cuck Kingpin. That may sound like an overstatement, but the season earns that claim with unnerving ease. What's most striking is how it gets there. The show doesn't inflate itself with bigger set pieces. Exactly. Or louder spectacle. I've always said the worst thing that could happen to a franchise is they increase the budget where they can get lazy in their writing by supplanting spectacle. I have always said that. Always. It cuts deeper instead. This season is leaner, more controlled, and far more interested in the machinery of power than in empty displays of it. Because season 2 is unmistakably about power, who wields it, who mistakes proximity for possession, and who gets ground beneath it. And it doesn't bother burying that idea in subtext. The writing attacks it head on. Okay, sometimes these guys are really bad freaking article writers. The season is blunt, brutal, and all the better for it. That approach will absolutely alienate some viewers. It's supposed to. I don't think it's going to alienate the viewers that matter, though. The fans. The fans. Much of that force runs through Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio. I've already said my thoughts on Vincent D'Onofrio. Either he gets some intensity behind him, both of whom delivered career best work here. I disagree. I think Charlie Cox, yes. Cox plays Matt Murdock. I know Vivander, he disagrees with me, and that's cool. Cox plays Matt Murdock as a man stripped raw, more exposed, more fractured, and far less capable of separating the warring halves of his identity. The show doesn't sand down that damage. It presses on it. It presses on it. Not that, like, I don't know of how many of these people actually take English in university, because simple sentence after simple sentence becomes D'Onofrio, especially in the back half of the season, is flat out devastating. Talking about season 1. This is the most sinister, human, emotionally unstable Fisk the series has ever given him. He remains calculating and controlled, but the cracks have widened enough to expose the pressure boiling underneath. It's the finest work he's done in the role, which says a great deal given how strong he's always been. I'm sorry, I disagree. I think he is the weakest, one of the weakest parts in... he doesn't have the intensity. He doesn't have... And I know, you know what, I was thinking about it, a lot of people are going to disagree with me on it. But every time I see him, he's got this cuck face. He's got this, even when he came back in season 1, episode 1, right? He came back after Echo, right? He came back and he's like, the Vanessa, he's just like, oh, sorry. He's like, go to your bowls, have your dinner, go to your bowl and have your milk and freaking cat food, you cuck. That's what it felt like. Like, Kingpin walks in a room, it doesn't feel like the Kingpin. And maybe it's because I'm old school and I remember the old comics and the old comics. This is a cucked out Kingpin. It is. Better still, supporting players no longer feel ornamental. That's true. All the characters felt like they had a place to be in season 1 episode, or season 2 episode 1. They feel indispensable. Karen Page is restored to the center. Now, female muse. Vivander, female muse. What do you think about a female muse? Because it looks like it's coming, right? Karen Page is restored to the center of the story in a way that genuinely matters after a first season. that all but shoved her aside. Michael Gandolfini's Daniel Blake develops into something far more layered, vulnerable, and unexpectedly human. I mean, this guy's pulling a lot of out of one episode. Wilson's Bethel Bullseye is used with exacting precision and hits like a hammer every time he enters the frame. Is he talking about season 1? Because the only thing we get Bullseye is near the end, right? He basically saves Daredevil, right? Then there's the criminality underused Matthew Lillard, who makes such a vivid impression that even limited screen time feels disproportionately potent. He brings a sly, destabilizing energy that the season knows exactly how to weaponize. His presence doesn't register as a cameo or a detour. It feels like the beginning of something. That's the one thing. There are so many freaking characters to keep track of. There's so many characters. Even Jessica Jones is reintroduced with admirable restraint. There's no self-regulatory fanfare, no desperate pause for applause. She's folded back into the world as though she belongs there, which of course she does. The lack of showboating gives her return real weight. Where's this guy? This guy seems to be pulling out way too much out of one episode. The same discipline shapes the action. The one-take brawls remains vicious, expertly staged, but they're no longer treated as main attraction. They emerge from character, from Matt's mental state, from the emotional and moral stakes of the moment. As a result, they hit harder than any technical flex ever could. Okay. Let me skim through this because this just goes through a lot of yak, saying shit that doesn't really mean. There we go. You know, that's enough. That's enough for this guy. So, I gotta go back to. There we go. I gotta hit main. There we go. And there we got this. So that is. There we go. There we go. We're back. 2, 3, 4, 5 people. 2, 3, 4, 5 people will see the same thing differently. Cheers. It's Saturday night. Man, we got a lot of show to go here. We're at the 1 hour mark and we've only gotten through Daredevil. Although we did do the big, that was the big news though tonight, right? That was the Zack Snyder breaking news, right? Where are we here? I gotta move this back over here. Let's see. Who is saying what here? I've had sometime look up Michael Franzene's reviews, The Sopranos, and you'll see why he'd make you as a screenwriter a badass Kingpin. Yeah, maybe. He would have to put on a lot of weight. Because Kingpin is like 400 pounds, right? He's 74 years old. Oops, where are we here? Get the right screen up. He's 74 years old. You'd have to put on, I don't think you want to put on that kind of weight at 74. I don't think you could, but you can't really put on that kind of muscle at 74. Maybe. I think you need a mid-40s guy who works out but eats a lot. And an actor that is just no one comes to mind. Like, I'm not a casting guy, so I don't. Vivander, my friend. I think we need to separate the structural argument from the argument for adaptation. That was kind of well said. I can't speak to the adaptation, but I love the Netflix Kingpin for both the writing. Okay, actually, and you know what? And to my, I wish I could make a comment to that. I did not watch. I only watched parts of it, and I don't really remember too much. From and it could be, you know what? It could be the fact that it's 10 years ago. He's younger and he had more of an edge to him. But do you see? Yeah, you know, I get it. I totally get it. He is. I would say he's become the wrong guy. I wouldn't disagree with you. Like, I looked at the old images. I mean, I could have put it up on the screen, but La Cosa Nostra is the official term for the real for the real mafia. Call themselves, in the case you didn't know. Yes, that I do. I've always been quite fondly interested in the La Cosa Nostra, the New York gang, Italian mafia, which has changed dramatically since what's his name, right? The big trial, John Gotti. Everything changed after that, right? Everything. It's a very different world now, and it has to adapt to. These are not the nicest people either, are they? Drew Goddard pissed me off because he bailed on the original Daredevil series to write these silly movies like The Martian and Project Hail Mary. What a dope. Yeah, well, fuck. Well, shit, right? Oh, geez. Where are we here? I wonder what do I do this? How do I, so, I can't, how do I do this here? Okay, I got to, shit. You know, the fact that because now I use OBS, I have a whole extra thing that I got to do. Oh, that's right. Okay, that worked. Drew Goddard. Yeah, but he's done a few things. Project Hail Mary, High Potentials, TV High Potential. You know, I always see so many advertisements for it. Sometimes I think maybe I should watch an episode, but it's not POPRAGEOUS, right? It's not pop culture. I'm a pop culture guy. I like, getting messy with pop culture stuff. And I love different opinions. So if you hopefully that comes across. Ben Feister, Vivander, Pamela, Mike, anyone that comes, if you got a different opinion, that's freaking awesome, right? Because I love the conversation about these things. We all have opinions, right? Everything hits us a different way. We might not agree on everything, but we might agree on a lot of things. Project Hail Mary, Daredevil TV series. There you go. Created by and written by even the Defenders TV miniseries, written by, defended by, right? One episode. The Martian. Yeah, well, The Martian's pretty good. World War Z. I didn't mind World War Z, guys. I didn't mind it. I actually enjoy World War Z. Cabin in the Woods. I think it's overrated. Guy, have you guys seen Cabin in the Woods? I got way overrated. I would give it at best a 6. At best a 6. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That's not coming back. Lost the series, 9 episodes. Cloverfield. I liked it. I like Cloverfield. Alias Angel. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, 22 episodes. So yes, I do love pulling up the director, writer, and producer kind of stuff. That is literally the kind of stuff right there. It'll, but yes. I think looking at what other understanding what other directors have done, who's doing what, and what's their past, it could be a fairly big harbinger into what we're looking at, why we're looking at it. Where are we here? Drew Goddard pissed me off because he. Right, that's where we left off. Let me clarify. Everything Vincent D'Onofrio has done since Disney, but Marvel has been trash. That's not the... okay, I got you. Yeah. Everything... let me clarify. Everything Vincent D'Onofrio has done since Disney, but Marvel has been trash. I agree with you. I think D'Onofrio is the weakest part of Daredevil. His face looks like a cuck. Kingpin is supposed to be some freaking guy. You sit down with him and you're freaking scared. You're scared of the mother freaking guy. I get no feelings of intimidation from watching this guy. Hey, you want to go and get a pizza, baby? Oh, fuck. Really? Change him up, guys. Change him up. It sucks. He is the weakest link. Because the antagonist has to antagonize. He's the weakest link. He's the weakest link. Arr, matey. Arr. Oh, jeez, that's good. Being straight up, it'll be interesting to see if Michael Franzese will review Kingpin and Daredevil, because I honestly believe he'd agree with you. Interesting. No, I'm saying Michael Franzese would consult with you creating a comic and Mafia accurate. Oh, gotcha. Okay, understood. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I have the street cred. Someone might look at the things that I've done. They might say, okay, this guy's got some shit. He's done some shit. I have been very balanced. I will not sell my screenplays. Okay. He's over there. Yeah. No, I got you. Yep. Ben Feister. No kidding. Michael Franzese wouldn't fit in acting as Kingpin. Gotcha. Senor. Understood. I said Michael would be your Mafia consultant. Understood. Gotcha. Vivander, how about we get the guy from Reacher? Shave his head and have him go on a hot dog diet for about 6 months. Oh, yeah. Alan Ritchson. At least Alan Ritchson's getting into some freaking street fights. Alan Ritchson, if he put on like, 50, 60 pounds of bad weight. That is that. I don't think he'd want to. Like, yeah, you eat hot dogs, you go to Burger King, double Whoppers, French fries, you go nuts, my friend. You put on 60 pounds, 6'4", mofo with muscle, with just as much muscle as he's got fat. And he's got that look, right? Alan Ritchson's got that intent. That's a good casting choice, actually. Vivander, that's actually not bad. I don't know if he'd do it because he's like, he seems like a proud guy. Pamela! Mwah. Pamela, baby. Yeah, baby. Alan Ritchson seems like such a proud guy, right? He's in shape. He works out. But I'll tell you, he's an actor. That's the stuff you do. You go out there. Alan Ritchson would be shave. Honestly, that would not be bad. Alan Ritchson, shave his head, put on 60 pounds of fat. Beside Matt Murdock, that could work. Could. I think it could. Yeah, Michael would say something like, yeah, Kingpin is a big guy, but he's lacking that mafia New York swag to make a mafia boss like Kingpin a believable character. Yes! Yes, Ben Feister, you nailed it in that sentence. You freaking nailed it. Vincent D'Onofrio does not feel like a kick-ass New York swag mafia boss. He doesn't. That's what you need, right? And that's exactly right. That New York, not some cuckold, lethargic, hey, I'm the guy. Nothing feels convincing from this guy. Nothing. I mean, I can't. Next week is season episode 2 and 3, which will hit on Thursday night. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. But this whole thing is kind of interesting. Watch, because I want to see how. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I've been told that OBS is real SOB. well, you gotta know. You gotta know how to, Good evening, my beautiful friends. Pamela is in the house. It's Saturday night, my friends. I hope you're enjoying your Saturday nights. I am. I'll tell you. We'll let the crowd stop cheering. It's a full studio audience tonight. It's full, packed. It's packed. The interesting thing about going live, and if you've never, most people haven't done it, right? You go live and you're like, holy shit, I gotta talk and, fill content. And so you try and set yourself up as best you can with everything that So if you hit a dead spot, if you hit like a brain, okay, I got nothing in my brain to continue this conversation. You got to get somewhere, right? You got to go somewhere. You got to create entertainment. This is show business, motherfucker. Show business. This is POPRAGEOUS is what it is. So before you go on your scrambling, you're kind of like, I'm not nervous. You're like, okay, what am I going to forget? There's things I want to say and I'm going to forget. You always forget this stuff. You always do. But you go on and you kind of like, you realize that you just kind of, now it's different. Even if I had one other person, there's a couple of people that I'm talking to that I might pull on that will become a sounding board, like a 3-way conversation with chat. But it's an interesting, and then when I go live, I'm never short of anything to talk about. Partly because, Ben Feister, Vivander, Pamela. I gotta, where's Mike? Mike hasn't been around. I gotta email Mike, I think. Maybe he's emailed me. I didn't email him back or something. I don't know. Um, Pam, happy faces. Our token female viewers here. Yes, we love Pamela. We love Pamela. That's our girl. Yeah, sorry missed you. I sorry missed you on Thursday, Pamela. I'm sorry. I see y'all talking more whenever I wasn't whenever I was here. Yeah. You can't email me. How come you can't email me? First off, I'm not great at emailing back. I'm not good at checking email. Why can't you email me? The email is the let me know why you can't email me. Pam Vander says, yes, Pam, we are more PG when you're here. Yeah, it's yeah. But it's look, Daredevil. It's an interesting thing. I have. It says it's not valid. What really? Let me. What? Under Poprageous, right? Poprageous. I gotta go through all of my. I got all my science channels up. Science. She blinded me with science. Let me just check customization. Poprageoustv@gmail.com. Poprageoustv@gmail.com. There's no reason that shouldn't work. I get emails there every day. Poprageoustv@gmail.com. Are you emailing it without the TV? Because poprageous@gmail.com was taken. Poprageous.com is. I have poprageous.net. I just haven't. I actually do write code. I just haven't done the website yet. There's no reason for me to do the website right now. Poprageoustv@gmail.com. And if I don't get back to you because it's so bad, I'm so bad at reading email. You don't know? It says you're. No, that's not. I get email every day, Pamela. At poprageoustv@gmail.com. Email me. What's your email? Well, I guess you don't want to. You can't tell me. You don't want to tell me over the air. I mean, the thing is afterwards there could be like a lot of people that watch the rebroadcast. A lot of people. Actually, there's way more people that watch the rebroadcast always. Like there's like 100 times more people that watch the recorded version than the live version. I always listen to Motor Away by Guided by Voices before doing a podcast. It calms me down and amps me up. And I think, okay, you have a podcast? I didn't know you had a podcast. What's your podcast, Vander? Oh, you're keeping secrets, motherfucker. You're keeping secrets. Big girl, huh? Challenge accepted. You go. Oh, you. Where was? Oh shit. There you go. You go, Ben Feister. You go. Oh my God, I just did. Yes, the comments are gone. The comments are gone on the reboot. Damn. My friends. Oh my God, Zack Snyder's coming back. Zack Snyder, he's coming back. Oh. Can we? Okay. What are we going to talk? Lord of the Rings first or Black Snape? You know what? I'm gonna quickly. We're gonna do Lord of the Rings really fast. I don't think there's unless you guys start yakking it up. Which you guys probably will. But I'm gonna do. Let's get into this Lord of the Rings, which is an absolute abomination. There it is. Where is Harry Potter Philosopher's Stone? There we go. There we go. Okay. Let's get back to we got this. This is I've got to find a way. Yes. Yes. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen. There we go. We got this thing set up. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you've heard of this, and I know Ben Feister, I think he's loaded up with some. Pamela, are you a Lord of the Rings fan? Pamela, are you? I tell you, okay, guys, let me just say one of my best friends is from New Zealand. He's a director. Yeah, he knows the Peter Jackson camp quite well. He was actually invited to. One of the guys said, "Yeah, we're gonna go down back to in 1999 or 1998, 99. Gonna go back to New Zealand. We got some projects and everything." But this guy got then hooked up like a few months later with Peter Jackson, Lord of the Rings. And if my buddy would have gone down there, he would have had a much different life right now. But he's one of my best friends. He's a director, and he's one of the guys that hopefully I will do one of my scripts with. We'll make a movie together. But he knows the Peter Jackson camp quite well. The people around him, who he is. The guy is worth. Are you ready? Are you ready? What is Peter Jackson's net worth? Are you ready? It's just shy of $2 billion. How do I make it be? Billion? Billion? $2 billion. Net worth. So apparently he sits at home a lot, and he has a few hobbies that he does. But this absolutely is a shocker beyond, especially from a screenwriting perspective. There are so many screenwriters, absolutely like bona fide, kick-ass screenwriters that love Lord of the Rings. A super fan, just because you're a super fan, does not make you qualified. Like, before we get, let's read some of this. Stephen Colbert's Lord of the Rings movie explained. In case you've been hiding in a hobbit hole, you might have missed the. Now, for the record, guys. For the record, I have no idea. On the right-hand side, I do not go to Alibaba and I don't look for any of this stuff. But yet they show women in bikinis and stuff. You think I shop on Alibaba for this crap? I don't know why I'm getting it. Maybe that's better. Like, it's just ridiculous. Unless someone's using my computer that I don't know about. So we got to play this. This is the video. We bring you a special announcement. This is now Peter Jackson. Understand, this is a guy worth $2 billion. Even his choice of attire has to bring into question whether this guy is fully functioning. I watch this and I question whether Peter Jackson is a fully functioning. Whoa. Nope. Where's the video? Where's the audio? There's no audio, is there? That's really strange. You must go to. Why is there no audio? Okay, so this is another issue. I apologize. This is another issue that I have. Trying to get this was, I swear this was working this afternoon. That's coming from. But anyway, so they're talking about. I'll like discuss. He's talking about all the old crew coming back. They're working on the new Gollum movie. They're talking about all these things that are sort of in the works. And there's Andy Serkis, right? He's playing Gollum. And this is like, honestly, if you saw this guy in the street and he's just walking around, you'd throw him $5. You would literally, hey, yo, bro, here's $5. You're worth $2 billion. You could probably get some hair moved to the front. Like, you don't need to do the front comb. You don't need to do the front comb. You're worth enough money. No one sees you enough to even know. I'm not even sure if his eyebrows move. Is he getting some? Do one of those, Peter. Peter, do one of these. He's talking about Lord of the Rings. He's talking about new projects, specifically the Andy Serkis, the Gollum one. And now he's saying that there's someone. I need to. Oh, who is it? Who is it, guys? It's, oh my freaking God. Why am I cheering Colbert? Oh, that's because it changed spots. I did hit the right button. It's supposed to be the laughing one. Stephen Colbert, is he going to do some like vaccine stuff in the old? Here's it, guys. Let me step in right now with this whole stupid Stephen Colbert bullcrap. First off, being a screenwriter requires so much time and effort to get to a place where you become half-assed good at it. I went to university. I had an English degree in creative writing, and I've written screenplays. I've written movies, TV scripts. Do you know how many people, honestly, put in treatments for Lord of the Rings stuff? There's got to be like a couple thousand every year. I'm sure Warner Brothers gets deluged with, got an idea for Lord of the Rings. And then they pick. And here's the problem that I have. Then they pick the most divisive person It's not like Stephen Colbert has walked a fine line in the center between left and right. He literally set himself up as some far left bimbo, if I can use the word bimbo. Now, Pamela, I know, Pamela, easy. Pamela, I need you to, I think you like Stephen Colbert. I've met him. I've had an altercation with him at the American Music Awards one year. You are going to pick a guy who it's already divides the country 50-50. Half of the country literally dislikes him. Remember that routine? I got it. Okay, you want to do this? You want to do this, Colbert? You want to do this? You want a little bit of this, huh? You know what? If I gain 60 pounds, I might be the right Kingpin. I'm going to pull it up. There we go. Motherfucker, there it is, my fool. Here he is. This is the guy. Can we just get to the dance? Where's the dance? What a freaking nut job. What a nut job. What a nut job. What an absolute freaking nut job. Here we go. There we go. Right there. What a nut job. Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, guys. Lord of the Rings. I know you're not supposed to play vaccine stuff. What a freaking nut job. What a freaking nut job. What a nut job. Let me pull that off. That, my friends. Who the hell is this? Peaky Blinders, where are we supposed to be here? There we are. I'm not even sure I'm supposed to play that stuff. Vaccine stuff. But I guess if it's a left-wing nut job like Steve Colbert, like seriously, I will happily call out the right-wing nut jobs. Colbert has proven himself a left-wing nut job. Just based on that footage alone. Now you're going to have him come on and do Lord of the Rings. If you needed a treatment or a script for the first 6, look, you think this is something novel? Well, the first 6 chapters of Lord of the Rings wasn't done. It basically was done, scattered throughout the movie. You really think that you've got something novel, Colbert? This is freaking insane. But they're basically talking about the fact that, Steve Colbert, he's a big fan of Lord of the Rings does not make you qualified to write a freaking screenplay. And he talks about his son. His son's done nothing. So him and his son are going to write a screenplay, both of whom have done no street cred doing anything with screenplay writing. Look, Stephen Colbert probably will hire some guy. You could hire me, bro. It'd be expensive. A screenwriter to actually write it for him. But if you think this, I tell you, man. If Warner Brothers, look, there's nothing guaranteed that this script goes in and they're going to put $150 million, $200 million into creating this BS. Because half of the country already dislikes this guy. You want to go far left? You want to go far, far right? You got problems. If you stay left of center, right of center, you're okay. You're okay. Stephen Colbert, really? Just incredible. I don't know why. I'm gonna have to investigate. I got to investigate the audio. What the hell? I don't know. Yeah, I'm working on new stuff, new ways of doing things. Oh, geez. All right, let's get into this. Where are we here? Oh, maybe I need some. Maybe I need a little bit of wine. Cheers. Oh, I do a podcast for work. It's not at all fun unless you're really into enterprise resource planning, systems for manufacturers and distributors. I've actually been in business my whole life, in one business or another. That does not sound fun, though. That doesn't sound fun. Pamela states, Stephen has gotten fooked by from the FCC. So yeah, I am happy he gave him a job. Ben Feister, I personally feel like we're going to get a creepy, cringe, and Pee Wee Herman depiction of Tom Bombadil. I honestly, Ben Feister, I don't think it's going to get that far. I don't think. I think that script, there's going to be someone at Warner. There's going to be someone at Warner Brothers that actually reads it and goes, do you know how many scripts they get for Lord of the Rings at Warner Brothers? Peter Jackson is not in charge. Warner Brothers decides. Do you really think that David Ellison is jumping in? If the deal goes through, there might be some divestitures before Paramount actually buys Warner. Interesting thing, Warner could have bought Paramount a year and a half ago. They could have done a deal. Zaslav would have been the big guy in the street. But instead, that's when Skydance bought Paramount. And anyway, I honestly, Ben Feister, I don't think it's going to get that far. I don't. Holy shit. It takes me forever to put in a comment. Why? Is there something I can relate? YouTube comments suck. Really? I agree, Pam. I agree, Pam. Somebody needs to take away Stephen Colbert's crayons away before he makes a mess. Yeah, they do. They really do. I think I just hit applause, right? I did. Yeah, this is something new off my Rodecaster, so I can do applause on my Rodecaster. I got. Pavenda. Yeah, we just did that. Yeah, damn, Pam, burning Danny. Are we? Oh shit! Just don't like people getting fooked. Don't like people getting fooked. The only time I like Steve Colbert when where Steve Martin trolls Colbert on his masterclass SNL skit was Steve Martin. I think I remember that. The fact that Steve Colbert thinks he can write a good Lord of the Rings script versus Return of the King, who clean swept the Oscars and awards, is beyond comically cope from Colbert. It is shocking that look, I've lost a lot of respect for Peter Jackson. I've lost a lot of respect for him. Me and my New Zealand buddy, I haven't talked to him about it. I should. I'll probably call him tomorrow. But it's bad. Oh God, because I'm slow at. Oh, you're slow. You got the two index fingers, right? I got it. That's cool. That's cool. Pam was trolling. You say Peter Jackson was your dad. Oh man, I don't know if there's not. Look, if this thing goes anywhere I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked. I think this is such a disastrous mistake. Everyone's going, really? Really? Oh, you're on your phone. You're on your phone. Oh, it's so much easier on desktop. It's so much, Pamela, it's so much easier on desktop. You don't have a desktop computer? Okay, guys, we got to get to, we got probably, okay, I wish I had a drum roll. If we had a drum roll. No desktop, young lady. Jeez, come on. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to that point in the show. we've come to that point in the show. I got to, where do I go here? No, we don't want, I don't even want, I'm done with, there we go. Is that the one? I don't think it is. I think I want this one. That's the one. That's the one. That's the one. Mofo. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. I'm just getting my computer screens all set up here. Which one? I gotta try it. Okay. Now we gotta go to scene 2. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. So. Oh, this is so complicated. Oh my God. Oh my God. There we go. Can I expand that? So that it works really well. Is the writing big? You know what? Each internet page is different in size. There we go. That works. Oh, yeah, that works really well. Guys. Oh boy. You know what? Yeah, Ben Feister just said it, the big topic of discussion. Black Snape. Oh, where are we here? I guess. Yeah, there we go. So Harry Potter trailer sparks viral Black Snape AI video and memes. Now, it's been out there for like on the Thursday show, which unfortunately technical issues got in the way. We would have been talking about this. Things have kind of worked their way through. This is from March 26th. HBO. So we go. HBO's new Harry Potter trailer is getting plenty of attention for confirming the series will premiere this Christmas on HBO Max, but it's the first look at Papa. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Excuse me. Papa Essadu as Service Snake that has really sent social media into overdrive. Whoops. How did that happen? Fans on X have been lighting up the platform with backlash memes and AI videos, turning Snape into one of the biggest talking points from the teaser, even though he appeared for about 1 second on the teaser. The trailer offers the first look at Assidu as Snape, and that reveal immediately became a viral flashpoint on X. And I think, Ben Feister, you have, and I don't disagree with you. I think Vivander too. I think, there's a lot of people will say that race swapping is not only an issue for the swapped character, but if the only way that you can insert a black character is by switching another character around, then of course it's all okay. But if you turned Blade into, drunk Justin Timberlake, did you guys see the Justin Timberlake arrest video? I watched it last night. It's hilarious. But imagine if Justin Timberlake was, Blade. Of course, he wouldn't be, but could you imagine the uproar? Absolute uproar if it went the other way. One reaction post has already pulled in more than 4 million views, showing just how fast the conversation has spread. From there, quote posts, memes, and replies took over, with fans debating the casting of HBO's version of the character. A lot of high engagement reactions focused on the same point. Fans saying the look does not match how Snape is described in the books, or how the character became known through Alan Rickman's iconic portrayal in the films. If you're going to follow up Alan Rickman, you were going on the heels of some of the best acting. Period. Can I make this bigger? Oh my God. Every website has different script that makes everything react differently when you adjust the size of the screen. So this is a video. Perry Chan 1984 that he did. And this thing is hilarious. He did, this is purely AI, but he took this and pretty quickly, this thing is blowing up. We'll play it. But of course, we've got no audio. I'm going to have to figure out why the audio is not working. It's not, is it? No, it's not. I don't know why. Oh, that sucks. But he made an AI music and then this AI video. Basically, you know, Black Snape has... He's got dreadlocks. He's got the zipper, the leather. He basically looks like he's something from downtown Detroit, or, you know. Is this a look for Harry Potter? That Harry Potter, I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan. I'm not. And I'm trying to be. I'm going to watch some Harry Potter next week. Maybe even a little bit tomorrow. I'll try like one of the movies tomorrow. And I always lose interest. I do. I just... But this is Black Snape. This is... I don't know. Like, Black Snape. Anyway, it sucks. I don't have audio. Again, it's part of my issues and trying to, you know, a big part of Backlash centers around HBO and Warner Brothers promoting a new series as more faithful adaptation. A big part of the backlash centers on HBO promoting that the series was going to be faithful in the adaptation of the books. Well, obviously, you can't believe that, can you? That's why many fans are zeroing in on Snape. Critics on X argue the casting choice clashes with the character's original description and undercuts the idea that this reboot is sticking closer to the source material. Well, obviously it's not. Others pointed to old illustrations and book descriptions while saying the new version of Snape feels like a major departure. I think especially since this is such an important character. In relation to Harry Potter, the story, Alan Rickman comparisons are also everywhere, with fans saying HBO had no chance of avoiding them given how closely Rickman is tied to the character. I mean, that's true. But I mean, if you take a look at the images, that is a very big departure. Very big departure. And I got a few comments on that. Black Snape memes and AI videos go viral. Of course they are. We already watched that. Well, we watched it. We didn't listen to it. But I mean, the memes are everywhere. But the point is, in discussing this, you know, we keep, if we, you know, well, I'm not going to keep reading this. It's going to go into the same conversation that we're going to have ourselves. That we will have ourselves. Where are we? Let me move this over because I know Ben Feister has got a couple of things to say. Yes, this black Snape can F off. I bet every dollar this is going to really rile up the black fatigue. Well, there's a lot of black fatigue already. That's for sure. Seeing a very abusive black guy being cruel to a white Harry Potter. Mark my words. I think, but here's the thing, Ben Feister. I have no doubt they're going to change the temperament of the story. They will. I think Black Snape is going to turn to instead of being the kind of anti-hero kind of a guy, he's going to turn into more of a hero figure, more of a father figure. He's going to be less. The very fact that he has been race swapped is going to change how that character is presented. That's what I think. Mike, my word, this depiction of Snape will really incidentally expose black people's absolute seeth for white people. Well, I think that might have already been done, hasn't it? I mean, look, living in Los Angeles for 20 years, especially the last 5 or 6 years, I got stories. I have a lot of stories I could tell you. Yeah, for me personally, Alan Rickman is the only Snape, end of story. But you got to replace him, right? Because, well, we know what happened to him. You got to replace him. That doesn't mean that there wasn't a good alternative out there. Just seeing this black Snape on screen, it reads as if he's hiding a shank to murder the 3 main characters. His Chicago death glare is really good. Good rile up the black fatigue narrative. But here's the point that I want to make. They knew this was going to happen. The second they were there, I have no doubt, and especially the way casting works, guys. In Hollywood, or in any, well, whether it's in Hollywood or wherever it's happening, right? In England, in the movie business, in the TV business, they knew this was going to happen. They knew weeks in advance this was going to happen. If we cast a black character in the role of Black Snape, we know what's going to happen. We know what fan reaction is going to be. Think they're dumb? Do you think they were dumb to it? Of course not. They prepared for it. They were ready with all the comments, all the regular standard. They knew what was going to happen. They were, as a matter of fact, they were probably so excited about the fact that of what the interest that might bring from, or the conversation that might bring from Snape being cast as a Crips black gangsta. They knew. This is not, and they had all of the replies ready, all of the racist things, all of the millions of fans. What shocks me is there are millions of fans of Harry Potter. I'm not particularly one of them, but they were more than willing to screw over the fans of Harry Potter. They knew what was going to happen. They had multiple closed door meetings. What if, when we do cast him and release the news, here's what we say. Here's our strategy. Here's our discussion platform. Here's what we say on this platform. Here's what we say. They were ready for it because they knew what was going to happen. They intended it. It was their intention for this to happen. Trust me when I say watch Rickman's depiction of Snape in Harry Potter. And I did. I watched enough Harry Potter. I know. I'm a huge Rickman fan. Oh, huge. The guy's was one of the best character actors, period. Best actors, period. And to see literally anyone else play Snape than Alan. But you have to. He's dead. He's dead, so you got to find someone new. You have to. I mean, that's old, right? So what he was one thing. How do you replace him? I don't think doing black African-American Snape is the way to do it. Because I tell you, there's a lot of Harry Potter fans that are, this doesn't help the franchise. This doesn't help the Harry Potter series. It doesn't. If you want a good clip of to analyze from Alan Rickman's depiction of Snape, look up Snape's last memory. Snape is already the unsung hero in the books. Well, the thing is, he's old news. He's dead. He's dead, right? That's old news. So we have to talk about who's the next guy. I mean, they could have sex swapped him too. They could have made Snape a woman. Would that have been worse or better? If you're not familiar with Snape, loved Harry Potter's mother Lily, and quietly along with Dumbledore protected and helped Harry finally defeat Voldemort. Well, that's so I know enough about Snape. He's an anti-hero that's basically almost like a pseudo spy for Dumbledore. But he looks like he's on Voldemort's side. But he's an anti-hero. So that I know. I understand the essence of his character. And what we're going to get from this casting is, and we could all be wrong. We could be. It doesn't feel right. It feels very wrong. It feels like this was an intentional casting to gaslight fans. That's what it feels like. This feels like this was intentional. Intentional. Just to gaslight Harry Potter fans. No replacing Rickman. Bite me. Fuck yeah. Agreed. Any movie that Alan Rickman was in, imagine trying to replace him in any movie that he was in. Trying to replace him in Robin Hood and cancel Christmas. No one could pull off that line like Alan Rickman. Nobody. The guy was, I remember when he died. What was it? Was it 3-4 years ago? It was terrible. I was like, what? No, pounding on the table. I gotcha. Did you hear that? That's no replacing Alan Rickman. Being a smartass, just CGI Alan Rickman into the show and I'll be good. Oh, there you go. Okay. CGI Alan Rickman. Well, maybe. It could work. They could do it. What are you doing, Pamela? Did you fall asleep, Pamela? Pamela pops on. She probably came home drunk. Hey, Pamela probably came home drunk. What was that? Oh, geez. There's going to be a lot more to say about Black Snape. I think it's a terrible idea. It's contrived. Believe me, it's contrived. They knew exactly what was going to happen. There's no mystery. There's no, do you think people might be upset? They freaking knew people, diehard fans. They knew diehard fans would be upset. They knew. We've seen it over so many franchises, so many TV shows where they're race swapping. And they have no problem doing it to fans. They don't care. They will gaslight the diehard fans and they don't fucking care. They do not care. I was like, think the other day. Imagine if when the next Nick Fury is actually back to what he was a Caucasian guy. Oh, you race swap Nick Fury to a white guy? Well, I mean, look, nobody can. Samuel L. Jackson was a great pick for Nick Fury. He was. Had nothing to do with race. It was the right actor playing the right role. Right? Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson playing Nick Fury it worked out well. It did. It was good. For me, replace Rickman as Snape is like replace J.K. Simmons as JJJ in Spider-Man. J. Jonah Jason. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and I know you like the redheads too, right? You like the redheads. The irony is Nick Fury was white in the comics. Well, he was. But Samuel L. Jackson did a really good job, and it worked. That was a case where the right casting worked and it had nothing to do. This just feels like they wanted to race swap, to gaslight, to get attention, to get this, to make this tumultuous change, to create this emotional. They just casted Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury because it felt good. And you know what? It did. It worked good. Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury. Got no problem with it. I don't. I got no problem with it. It's all good. I want to get to so this is something that might. So we'll have a lot more to say on Black Snape. A lot more. Samuel L. Jackson as Shaft was great. As Shaft, he was meh as. I liked him as Fury. I did. I thought he was good as Fury. I thought he good. But it's opinion, right? If you don't like him, you don't like him. It's. I thought he was actually. I thought he was really good, Nick Fury. I thought he was. Thought that was good casting. So, we are gonna have a lot more to say on Black Snape and everything from the Harry Potter. The trailer is not doing that well. It's not. I think it has. It really like. To me, it feels like a tired franchise. I don't know if you agree, Ben Feister. It feels like a tired franchise. A franchise that is I watched the trailer and it felt like the movie. It felt literally step by step. Like what am I watching that's different? I don't see what I'm watching that is different. It feels tired. It feels okay. Are we getting the same thing? Except as a TV show? We'll see. I'm not a big Harry Potter fan, so I'm not the best judge. I'm going to try and watch a little bit. I've tried so many times watching Harry Potter. It just feels like a kid movie to me. It feels like my 12-year-old should be watching this. I'm going to try, Ben Feister. I am. I'm going to try. I'm going to try hard. I am. Peaky Blinders. I want to quickly touch base before I get to Halle Berry. Halle Berry. Oh, geez, we got no audio on that. Oh, geez, we got no audio. Maybe I'll save Halle Berry till Tuesday. I don't know. Irene, my sister will talk your ear off about Harry Potter. Okay. Oh, geez. Where are we? Where do I got to go to? So I got to go to scene. I got to get used to this. Okay, that's that's Halle. Oh, geez, you know what? I don't think I really have a anything. I was just going to talk about Peaky Blinders. I'm not even sure if I can play. You know what? Everyone is getting nailed with the trailers. When you're playing the trailers, They're just nailing for you for copyright. So I might have just black that out if it, after when it goes on to the recorded side. So I watched Peaky Blinders, guys. So it's set in it's set in World War II. It's about a gang in right around World War II of British guys back in London, and the Immortal Man specifically deals with. So this is with Cillian Murphy. I highly recommend. Let me put this in a very simple. I gotta maybe put this way. I highly recommend if you're sitting at home and you want something good to watch. I highly recommend Peaky Blinders. I highly recommend it. I enjoyed it. I watched it last night. I enjoyed it. It's got a 6.7. 6.7 on IMDb. I think it's a little bit better. I think it's between a 7 and a 7.5. But when you're sitting at home watching Netflix and you watch this show, Cillian Murphy is freaking awesome. As well as what's his name? But you look at the name. There's 4 great. Look, 6.7. I think that's not. It just isn't fair. I think this is. Where's the cat? There we go. So Cillian Murphy, Tommy Shelby, Rebecca Ferguson is fantastic. I love Rebecca Ferguson. I do. Tim Roth. Are you kidding me? Tim Roth was fantastic. Sophie Rundle is Ada. Barry Keoghan. I always get his name wrong. He is a great actor. He's a great actor. Did a fantastic job. Stephen Graham is Hayden Stagg. And he plays kind of a convincing character in the characters that he plays. But look, these main characters, Cillian Murphy, Rebecca Ferguson, Tim Roth, Barry Keoghan, these are the people that get 90% of the screen time. And it was a great movie to watch. I'm telling you, you're not going to pay anything except for your Netflix. Your Netflix $9.99, whatever. I don't even know what I pay. Comes off my credit card. I don't even know what I pay. But you guys want to watch this. It has an edginess. It's got, as a screenwriter, I'm watching the scenes unfold. They're edgy, but they're soft, but they're intense. I didn't watch the TV show, and now I want to watch the TV show. I've always wanted to. I spoke to a friend today. He said the exact same thing. I've always wanted to watch the TV show. But I'm going to watch the movie. He hadn't watched the movie yet. So it goes through, and Cillian Murphy is solid from beginning to end. And the ending is kind of predictable, but it's not. It gives you a few ways that you could kind of watch it and go, is it good? Are they trying to lead me in a certain direction? Then they're going to change and it's going to go in this direction? Or what they're saying is this? Or is it going to be something new that you haven't thought of? You're not sure. You're not sure. But the fact is, at the end of the day, Cillian Murphy kills it. This is a great role for him. This is like for the movie set up so well. And if you turn on your Netflix and the Peaky Blinders, the Immortal Man comes on, and you're wondering, should I watch it? You should watch it. It's not high stakes. Well, it is high stakes. Sorry. It sets everything up beautifully. You need to watch things. You need to pay attention to the dialogue because the dialogue is excellent. Especially the first half. The action side is in the second half, where you really want to understand why things are happening, why they're doing this, why this. It's not a complicated script. It's not a complicated movie. The characters are very well done. They're very well written. And if you want to see a good movie, again, guys, I'm not going to spoil anything. Highly recommend Peaky Blinders on Netflix. the Immortal Man. It's more than a 6.7. It's more. It's I would say it's between. It's cheers. I would give it more like around 7.5, 7.5. So, but I watched it last night and I really wanted to talk about it. It's not really poprageous. It's not pop culture driven. There's nothing, but it's a historical piece in World War II London. And it looks fantastic. It really does. Written by Stephen Knight, directed by Tom Harper. The sets, the scenes, everything is so convincing that you will sit down and watch this, and you will agree that after 2 hours, this is a well spent 2 hours of cinema. Guys, watch it. I highly recommend Peaky Blinders. I do. What do we got? We got one more. We got one more little segment left. I was thinking maybe I was gonna save it. No, you know what? I am gonna save this till Tuesday because my audio is not working on my Chrome for some reason. It's Halle Berry. Avengers Doomsday. Halle Berry teases. Wait and see about how she'd update Storm. Now it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how Halle Berry is going to update Storm. It's how the director. She doesn't get to decide how Storm is going to be updated. The director gets to decide. And working with the costume people and everything else. So obviously she has input. She has some ideas. I got to figure out the whole thing dealing with the audio and YouTube. My problem, I'm still, there's so many. Oh my God. So we're going to do the Avengers Doomsday Halle Berry, and she looks fantastic. She really does. Halle Berry looks absolutely freaking amazing. She does. Oh, if I ever could be a necklace, I maybe wish that I did. I'm gonna figure out why my audio is not working from. I have a couple of ideas, but Project Hail Mary, it's doing well in the theaters. It's gonna have. I'm hoping to see it. I know some of my friends are going tomorrow night to go see it. I might go see it tomorrow night. Zack Snyder. We're gonna have more to talk about on Zack Snyder next week. The Snyderverse. Is the Snyderverse coming back? It very well might, my friends. But we're gonna leave it at that for tonight. Ben Feister, Vavander, Pamela, everybody, thank you for coming by. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching the recorded version afterwards. Remember, we got the Tuesday night big show. We got the Thursday night big show. And we've got Saturday night POPRAGEOUS live. Guys, thank you very much. We're going to call it an end to tonight. It's POPRAGEOUS. It's Saturday night. I thank you. And I will see you on Tuesday. Peace out, Pamela. Have a great evening. Ben Feister, everybody. I will see you on Tuesday on the big show. Have a great Sunday, a great Monday. And that's all I've got to say. Cheers, guys. Thanks. You're still there.
Yeah, baby. Why are you not entertained?
I'm sorry, baby. I didn't know it was your turn.
You. Look at me.
Yes.
What's wrong with being sexy? I mean, there's no
Sex.
These go to 11.
Does that mean it's louder?